What a night, what a scarred piece of metal that used to be a roof. Welcome to the post-show review, y'all. Hell in a Cell delivered absolute chaos like it owed us rent. I'm Logan Rivera, that's Sky Monroe, and the man still trying to shake the steel dust out of his hair, Marcus King.
I'm billing WWE for a tetanus shot.
Add emotional damages for whatever we just watched on top of that cage. Let's run it. 6 matches, 0 breathers, and 1 roof that needs therapy.
We opened hot, Cody Rhodes versus Lynch to crown a new United States champion in the final of the US title tournament, and before we even hit the bell, the road here mattered. Cody had to mow through the Judgment Day's Finn Balor, and then Santos Escobar in the semis, 2 totally different puzzles. Meanwhile, Lynch took out Solo Sikoa and Braun Breaker, basically a one-man mission through a wrecking yard.
And what worked against Solo and Braun? The study habits. Knight looked like he watched film until sunrise. He had Cody's bionic elbow rhythm down like a metronome. Every time Cody hit that babyface gear, Knight was a half beat ahead.
You could literally see the moment Cody cocked that elbow, and Knight's eyes said, "Seen this TikTok already." Counter, pressure, reset. Rinse, taunt, repeat.
Don't get it twisted. Cody wasn't a passenger. Springboard offense, that snap powerslam, you name it, he landed plenty. They brawled outside more than a few times, but back inside, Knight's ring IQ told the story. One wrong step from Cody, Knight snatches him, BFT, and just like that, new champ.
Knight didn't just win, he outsmarted him. Cody's gonna call it unlucky. I call it homework.
Where this leaves them, Lynch's got momentum, and a target the size of Texas, on that new title. Cody, you know he's asking for a rematch before the confetti swept, and if I'm management, I'm booking it, because the tournament run and the near miss, both scream, one more.
Big picture, though, can Knight hold it? He beat brute force and technique en route. Tonight he beat a full-on main event playbook. First defense is everything.
This next one dropped like a surprise playlist. We were told on Friday there'd be a fatal 4-way, no names, then boom, it's Raquel, Bianca Belair, Roxanne Perez, and Natalya.
You see Bianca and Natty in there, your brain immediately goes favorite, co-favorite. Roxanne's the spark plug. And Raquel. She shows up with that, I lift small cars for cardio energy, and then she actually cashes it in.
In James' sequence with Chef's Kiss, Natalya's got the sharpshooter dead center on Roxanne. Raquel house cleans Natty to the floor. Bianca darts back in, eats a powerbomb for her troubles, and then Raquel scales up and hits a corkscrew off the top. I'm naming it, the Tayana Twister, right onto Roxanne for the 3.
Power plus timing. That's how you steal a multi-woman match without actually stealing anything.
Where we go next, Raquel just ripped the door off the contender conversation. Bianca's not far behind, she took the worst bump of the sequence, and was still in position. Natalya's gonna be fuming that her submission opened the window. Roxanne proved she hangs in deep waters. Don't be shocked if she's the one turning a Money in the Bank ladder into a jungle gym next month.
John Cena vs. Seth Rollins was the 3rd match on this card, and this match got slept on like a Monday meeting, but once the bell rang, hello, classic pace, lots of ringside mileage, and then we hit the remix on a very familiar sequence.
Cena queued up the 5 moves of doom, hit the shuffle shimmy, and Seth said, "New patch notes, my guy." Kip up, shot to the head, whips in corner to corner, splash, then the nastiest middle rope curb stomp I've seen in a minute.
Look, if you took that, you'd reconsider your life choices too. That stomp was a screensaver.
Where this leaves them, Seth just pinned one of the toughest outs on the roster in decisive fashion in 10, and if I'm Brock Lesnar, I'm at least checking my rearview mirror. Rollins has dangerous written all over him right now.
Cena though? Not done, but this knocks him down the contender ladder. Maybe he pivots to whoever disrespects him next week, and there's always somebody. But title track? For now, Seth slid into that lane with the blinker off.
Then was our first Hell in a Cell match of the night. Heavy Cruisers is the most accurate team name in wrestling. Braun brings the 18-wheeler, Ricochet brings the nitrous.
DIY came in unbeaten since winning the belts at Great American Bash, but the weekly build gave us a hint. Ciampa beat Ricochet with Johnny lurking, Braun absent. Tonight, different math. Inside the cell, your friend is momentum, not your partner at ringside.
End sequence looked like a video game glitch and I loved it. Ricochet slings Ciampa out of the cell, man hit the eject button, Ciampa tries to bail, starts climbing like rent stew. Rico follows because gravity is optional. Which leaves Johnny wrestling alone with a very angry Braun.
And Johnny did what any rational person would do, run. Dropkick, dart, hope, prayers, then powerbomb, running power slam, and it's over. New champs. Crowd did not have that on the bingo card.
Chemistry matters. You saw the blueprint we talked about all week, power plus speed plays inside steel. No cute roll-ups, no lucky bounce. Just a straight-up put-em-down finish.
Where we go, DIY absolutely has a rematch clause to cash, but the division just woke up. You beat Finn and Priest to earn this shot like Braun and Ricochet did. People take you seriously. And Ricochet on a cage is basically downloadable content we all paid for. But after all, congratulations to the new champions. Brock Lesnar vs. Gunther for the Universal Championship. It certainly lived up to expectations for the majority of the match, but I said it before, and I'll say it again. This should be been in the cell. It wasn't a missed opportunity. Listen, it still hit like a car crash. They fought around the ringside like it was a backyard fence, barricades, steps. Announce table got a love tap, and every strike sounded like a drumline.
Gunther looked focused. He had Brock rattled enough late to line up either the sleeper or powerbomb. You could see him square the hips. And then Heyman did Heyman things, just the slightest distraction.
Sky. Why were you looking at his hips?
Oh, just be quiet, Marcus.
Well, I've got a job that requires not being quiet, so anyways. Brock wins, but get this. It was with a running clothesline. Not an F5, not a German chain. A lariat. I get being unpredictable, but come on. We were 2 moves away from an all-timer.
It's the second time Heyman's fingerprints have been on a Brock title win in this reign. If you're keeping score, the advocate's earning his percentage. Heyman distracted Gunther just when he was going in for the kill.
Where this leaves them, Brock retains, but not without an asterisk. Seth Rollins has a scoreboard win tonight that makes him a real threat, and Gunther has a very fair argument for a rematch, especially after having the upper hand before the Heyman cameo. If I'm Gunther, I'm grabbing a mic on Friday and saying, run it back, inside the cell, or at least no Heyman.
Main event time, SmackDown Women's Championship, Hell in a Cell, and this had controversy before the bell. It was supposed to be Charlotte versus Becky one-on-one. Then after Becky beat Roxanne on SmackDown, Nick Atlas walks out and drops, oh, by the way, Rhea Ripley's added. No reason given. Charlotte's face said what all of us were thinking, then why did I beat Rhea for the shot?
Whatever the off-screen call was, on-screen the match was a demolition derby. Chairs, tables, and then a whole second half on top of the cell. I've never seen so many power bombs on a roof that looked offended to be there.
There's a moment where Charlotte spears Rhea through the cell panel, and instead of letting gravity decide the rest, all 3 end up climbing up top anyway. Crowds chanting, fight forever, and for once I'm like maybe.
Peak drama, Charlotte locks a figure 8 on Rhea up on the roof. Rhea's tapping, and it doesn't count because you gotta do it in the ring. Charlotte, furious, breaks the hold, stands up.
And Becky is right there like a horror movie jump scare. Yeets Charlotte off the top to the floor in front of the announce desk. I screamed. My soul left my body and asked for a safer hobby.
Crowd barely processing that, when Becky drags Rhea toward center roof, and hits a manhandle slam through the cell. Rhea plummets to the ring, Becky climbs down, covers, 1 2 3. Still your SmackDown Women's Champion, Becky Lynch.
That ending was cinematic. Also mildly illegal in at least 4 countries.
Well, Becky retains in the gutsiest way possible. She didn't escape, she conquered. Charlotte has a very legitimate beef. She earned a singles match, got thrown into a triple threat with no explanation, and then got long distance yeeted. She'll want a one-on-one with Becky, and honestly, she has grounds.
Rhea tapped on the roof, didn't count, then got driven through it. If I know Rhea, she's not sulking, she's hunting. She'll either demand the rematch, or wreck the next #1 contender match just to make a point.
And the division as a whole? Raquel just won a 4-way earlier. Bianca got done dirty by physics. Roxanne hung with sharks. That Money in the Bank field is about to be stacked.
Closing thoughts, favorite moment, go.
Becky throwing Charlotte off the roof. My soul still buffering.
Middle rope curb stomp. The disrespect was artisanal.
I'm riding with the manhandle slam from Becky Lynch to Rhea through the roof of the cage.
Final grade for the show. B+ violent, inventive, and that main event is a must-watch with your phone thrown across the room. Only ding is the universal title finish. A lariat as the closer after that war is like ending a blockbuster with a text message.
But that's why we watch next month. Because Money in the Bank is up next, joint PPV, both brands, a pair of briefcases waiting to wreck carefully laid plans.
We'll be here for all the fallout, who gets rematches, who declares for the ladders, and who pretends they're not terrified of heights until they're 20 feet up. Hit subscribe, drop your MVPs of the night in the comments, and tell us if Heyman should be banned from ringside or just charged per interference.
For Logan Rivera and Marcus King, I'm Sky Monroe saying hydrate, stretch your necks after that roof bump, and we'll see you on the road to Money in the Bank starting next week on Friday Night SmackDown.
Somebody check on that cell roof. It's gonna need therapy and new screws.
Good night, and good luck finding your voice tomorrow after all that screaming. Make sure you join us next Friday for Talking Smack. See you then.